Hey, Cody Butler here, and in this war room hot seat, you're going to witness a man caught in the cycle of build it up, burn it down, repeat the process. He finds momentum in his business and then he sabotages it. He gets stability in his marriage and then he starts a war. He builds his health and then he lets it slip again. He's going to see that the enemy is not outside of himself, but internal self-sabotage. If you've ever walked away from something that you've 90% built, then this hot seat will show you exactly what you're fighting against, and it's not what you think it is.
Clearly, a lot of things you said of hitting the mark around leadership, and certainly believe I can be more than I have been, and sort of say, oh, why is that guy doing so well? I can do as well as that. And what's holding, the internal thermometer is holding me back. So yeah, a lot of what you said is hit the mark with where I'm at, and I guess last 12, getting into it, feeling a bit lost at the moment as to how to move forward and not realizing my potential.
Okay, all right, so let's stop there. So in what area? That's very, very generic. I'm feeling lost and don't know how to move forward. Give me a specific example.
First one, finances. The next one is career. So career,
We're only going to do one. It's not the Dan Ashby show.
why not? Well, there's no one else put their hand up.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to do finances or do you want to do career? Because they're two separate
Career,
things.
career.
So again, be specific. What is the problem specifically?
Uh, for me, it's I need to make a change. I need to stop doing what I'm doing because of lack of sort of. I feel I'm just getting too old to. Well, body can't cope with what I'm doing, and how do I add value to myself to move forward and become a leader that's paid for what they know, not necessarily paying for what I do. So that's that. I know there's a thermometer in there that says um, lack that I suppose confidence to
Okay,
make a
hold on.
decision.
Not looking for an analysis, bro. Just the problem.
Yep. Sorry. Yep.
We just got to keep it succinct, because we got a lot of people. So when was the last time you felt this way then, specifically?
Um, for a few weeks now.
What triggered it? What was the trigger point?
Just a desire to move on, do something else without. Yeah.
That's a feeling. That's not a trigger. I mean, did somebody say something to you? Did you have a realization? Did you look in the mirror and go, fuck, I'm getting old?
Yeah. Just a realization that I actually need to make a decision and do something.
Okay. So the problem is you're in a career situation right now that you don't believe is sustainable moving forward, and it's causing you emotional discomfort. Is that correct?
Pretty much. Yeah. Yep.
So where else have you felt this in your life?
A lot of areas through, my marriage relationships, past employees. So there's been, I can, certainly point to lots of other places. Yeah.
Okay. So the pattern here, Dan, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you a little bit, so I have seen this as well elsewhere, is you have a trigger which is fear-based. There's financial insecurity around this, in that due to whatever reasons you're going to not be able to continue the career path you're on. That creates an emotional response that then causes you to burn down what you have in an attempt to regain control of the situation. So the pattern is fear-based trigger, unfounded emotional response, is your business going to fail? Or, if you were unable to move, if you broke both arms and you were unable to move, is it true that your business would fail, or would you find a way to delegate?
Well, business would fail in the current thing if I don't
Could you
work.
could you find a way to delegate?
Yes, I could.
So again, we talk signal noise, right? Like the idea that your business will fail it's noise. It's not true. If you broke both of your arms, would you just go, "Oh shit, I'm finished," or would you find a way to recover, overcome?
The latter,
You'd
overcome.
find a way. I know you would. You'd find a way. We all would. So you got a fear-based trigger going into an over emotional response based on bullshit. You're acting on noise. You act on noise, not signal. And as a result, you burn down something that is 90% built. Is it going to be easier to start again from the beginning and build a business or a career from the ground up, or is it going to be easier to address the 10% that's still lacking and put delegation on and put systems and structure in place that allows the business to run without you? Which is it going to be easier to do that, or is it going to be easier just to burn the mofo down, start again?
Certainly easier to put systems in place, but I know the fear base is definitely there because I'll burn
So
stuff down before I even
yeah.
start it.
Right. So that's your pattern is you fear-based trigger goes into an emotional response that's reactive and destructive. You burn something down that's 90% complete and you start again. That's the pattern. Your marriage, fear-based triggers, over-emotional response. You go into overreaction and instead of fixing the problem, my wife criticized me for buying fish and chips. Well, go buy a freaking curry then. You burn the whole thing to the ground and start again. That's the pattern that you run. That's the man you are. Fear-based response, overly emotional response, massive and overwhelming destructive force as a result. Burn it down, start again. That's you. Is that accurate?
Certainly, I can see that in the latter part of my marriage, but certainly over emotional and then don't even get going, burn it to the
So that's
ground before I even started.
so that's your operating system, Dan.
Yep.
And right now you're running that operating system in your health. You've just hit the first domino in your health right now. That's the operating system that you're running in every aspect. You're going to burn your finances to the ground, is what you're going to do. And then you're going to make excuses saying, I had no choice for my health. Now, you burn your health to the ground as well. And then you're going to say, well, like that was the result of my marriage. Well, you burnt your marriage to the ground as well. That's the
Yeah.
that is the operating system that we're running. Until the unconscious becomes conscious, it will control you. So what count the casualties, man? Let's go back to the battlefield and count the casualties. What is this operating system? And be specific, man. Don't go, well, yeah, it's damaged. I need names. Name the casualties.
Oh, certainly. Lost opportunity, health.
Generic. Be specific, bro. Generic. Like specificity is the key here. Like here's the thing, right? Be strategic. If you give me 9 targets, I need 7 bullets. If you give me 9 targets to kill, I need 7 bullets because I'm going to wait till 2 of them are lined up and I'm going to take 2 out with 1 bullet. Right now, Dan, you've commanded a squadron of B-52s and bombed the wrong country. So you've got to be specific. You can't go, I want to bomb somewhere in Asia. What target are we going after? So like name the casualties of this operating system. Let's come face to face. It's like let's come face to face with what this operating system has actually cost you. Strategic analysis.
Um, Certainly, this operating systems of affected my weight, lack of ability to control weight or eating. Um, so, um, so
Health.
then, yeah, health. Um, Definitely there's a business on offer, which was good business, and I decided not to go for it, which would have paved the way for a good career change and an easier one. So I definitely
So
burned that opportunity down
you had what you were asking for, but you burnt it to the ground. It was in your
before I
hand.
started,
It was in your hands, and you set fire to it.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, certainly lost a relationship specifically around by not leading, lost a relationship with my daughter. Um, and um, so yeah, that's been a bit hard. Yeah, it's to lose that because I couldn't have hard conversations with people. Mm.
It's hard, dude, but look, man, you can't like you can't rise. You got to recognize the fall before you can rise, bro. It's like you're in a good place.
Yeah, uh, yeah,
So that's good. We could go on, man, but I'm trying to keep this brief, right? So
yeah, yeah. So let's
we've got
start there.
to continue. No, we're not done, bro. We're done with that. We got a bit more. So
Yeah.
let's give the lie a name. Like the enemy is a lie. The enemy is a deception. What is the lie that is causing you to behave this way? Let's name it.
Um, the lack of, well, thinking I'm good enough to do it, that I'm, worthy of it, I guess you might say, or the lack of leadership to have those hard conversations is a separate issue. But a lot of the things are that lack of thinking I'm dumb and not good enough to do it. But
So
deep
could
down,
it be could it be I choose emotional chaos and war over clarity?
well, I guess yes, I have.
Yes,
With
or
that, yeah, yes, yeah, I've chosen emotional chaos. So I've chosen chaos and trying to clean up chaos versus operating in a place of clarity and clear direction. Yeah, and I haven't realized that before.
so the man that you've been showing up as to your wife, to your children, to your employees, to yourself is I am the king who chooses emotional chaos and war over clarity. Does that bring any clarity into why the areas of your life that are falling apart?
Um, no, because it's I guess it's naming the deeper problem.
The deeper
I'm not
problem
sure.
is you choose chaos and war. That's your default. You're a man of war and a man of chaos
Why do I do that?
because that's your programming. That's your programming. That's the thermostat. Your thermostat is set to chaos and war. And it's just a matter of time before you burn your business down. It's just a matter of time before you burn because that's what you do, bro.
Yeah.
So we got to reframe that. So who are you going to become? Like let's is that the question my question to you is not how do we fix we're not going to fix it in 10 minutes, right? That's not what we're going to do here. The the point of this is for you to make a decision. That's it. That's who you are. Without any of the veneer, without any of the nice clothes, without any of the I've got X amount of millions in the bank, without any of that, right? That's who you are. That's who you are right now. The life you live is the man you are, and you're living a life of chaos and war. So who do you want to be? Like let's reframe it, man. Let's choose a new identity. Choose. I am a man of
Clarity and direction.
okay. I am a man who chooses clarity and leadership over chaos and war.
Yes. Yep.
So now you know who you are and you know who you need to be.
Yep. So from that, your thoughts become your actions, and your actions become who you are.
You can't. It's like I said, you commanded a squadron of B-52s and bombed the wrong country. You didn't even know what the problem was. There was no strategy. There was no strategic targeting. There was no uncovering the enemy. There was no battle plan. You could have sent one man in with a 22 and taken the enemy out with a 22, but you sent bloody squadron of B-52s in and bombed the wrong country.
100%. 100%.
And no amount of tactics, strategy, or what do I tell my wife or what is going to fix that. Where is the enemy, Dan? Who is the enemy? What is the enemy?
The enemy is within.
The enemy is within, bro. Should we move? Is that okay? You cool with that? You cool?
Thank you. No, really great. Thanks, Coach.
So you just watched a man realize that the strategy wasn't broken. He was. He didn't need a better plan. He needed to kill the part of him that kept sabotaging everything he was doing. If your results don't match your ability right now, then this isn't just his story, it's your story as well. You don't need another book, you need a confrontation. I invite you to join me in the Command the Chaos Challenge, where we don't just fix the symptoms, we expose the operator. Link in the description.